Discover Eritrea, a country you didn't know existed in Africa. Have you ever heard about Eritrea? Probably not, because it's the least popular country in Africa, and most people don't even know that it exists. It's a rather small country that's quite easily overlooked, and even though Eritrea is a gorgeous country, people still don't know about it. This multi-ethnic land has a lot to offer, so make sure to keep watching this video to learn more about it, and also subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Eritrea is a land of 6 million people, yet it is unknown to the world. But the shocking thing is that this country fought a war for 30 years straight just to get independence. So the people of this country cherish their independence quite fondly. The culture of Eritrea is very diverse, and people of multiple ethnicities live in peace. Interestingly, Eritrea was a colony of Italy, so many people in the country are well versed in Italian too. But there isn't one official language of the country. According to the Constitution, every country's language is given equal importance, and none of them is considered superior to the other. The working languages usually are English and Tigrinya. But for the most part, people speak Arabic, Tigrinya, and English in the country. Even though older people speak Italian, the government doesn't recognize this language at all because it's a symbol of colonialism and of colonial effects. Moreover, the airline in this country is also non-existent. It is only present on paper, and hardly any flights go from Eritrea to other countries. This means this country's people don't have many privileges to travel and explore the world either. The country has borders with Sudan, Ethiopia, and Djibouti, and takes influence from their cultures too. There is also a long coastline of the Red Sea, and it has access to the link between the Indian Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. The interesting thing about this country is that people here are very peaceful and don't get involved in dirty politics. So much so that the country only has one political party, and it gets elected every single time after the country was found independence in 1993. They don't even hold local elections, and the people actually are pretty happy with it because they're away from the mess of politics. The country isn't in favor of Western democracy, and their president has even said that they don't want to hold elections for the next 4 decades. Do you know that the members of the National Assembly of Eritrea were also elected in 1993 and have been working on their posts since then? No election has occurred after that, and they seem happy with how things are. Eritrea might sound like a unique name, but it was taken from the Greek name of the Red Sea. During the colonization of Italy and Britain, Eritrea had the same name, and the freedom fighters decided to keep it this way too. Hence, the unique but very powerful name depicts the identity of the Eritrean people concerning the Red Sea. Eritrea is also a land of ancient cultures, which is why many archaeologists and paleontologists are attracted to this country. In fact, elaborate research was conducted and an ancient river site was dug up. As a result, they found a skull that was 1 million years old. Before this, the oldest skull was a couple of thousand years in age, but this skull actually changed how we look at evolution, and it had both Homo erectus and Homo sapiens features. And it was found in Eritrea, which tells us how its culture and land date back millions of years. Since this discovery, the country has become a hub of archaeological findings, and it's like a holy grail for archaeologists worldwide. The great thing about this country is its equality. It doesn't suppress women as much as most countries do. In fact, 30% of Eritrean freedom fighters during the 1990s were women. It tells us how women are taught resistance from the very beginning and how fearless they actually are in this country. No other independence movement in the world had such a high number of women, which makes Eritrea such a great country to date. Eritrea's education system is also fairly advanced, and more than 47% of women were literate according to the 2003 census, and the rate has increased quite a lot since then. Women are also not supposed to change their name after marriage either, and they hold a great place in society. While most countries prefer cricket and football, Eritrea's most famous sport is actually cycling. Even though it was introduced to the country with the arrival of Italian colonists, people still go cycling every weekend. Asmara, the main city of Eritrea, is, in fact, a hub of cycling, and a lot of marathons take place in the city every week. People also use cycles in their daily lives because the local buses are often very crowded. It shows how simple and peaceful lives these people spend and how they're still happy and satisfied with their lives. The only issue in Eritrea is with its internet. It wouldn't be wrong to say that this country is least connected to the outer world because of the internet. The broadband connection is so expensive that regular and middle-class people can't get access to the internet that easily. Though you may find a lot of internet caves throughout the country, and even though the speed of internet connection is slow, it does the deed for sure. Also, 3G networks aren't available in the country, and foreign SIM doesn't work either. So, if you're planning to visit Eritrea, you might have to buy a local SIM. But it would be a perfect trip for a digital detox because you'll be getting the most out of your trip. There are a lot of tourist destinations and beaches across the country, but most tourists don't know about them, and that's why one such gem is left untouched. In fact, Asmara is called Little Rome by historians mainly because of its architecture. The country was under Italian colonization for more than half a century, and Italians were particularly invested in Asmara. So there are over 400 buildings and sites where you can find traces of Italian architecture. It's why Asmara is considered so aesthetic and modernist compared to other cities in the country. The city is so culturally rich that it was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 2017 and is completely preserved now. Certain places are a must-visit in Asmara, and some are cathedrals made with Italian architecture and art. The cinema capital is also worth visiting. The Italian influence on this city is quite a lot, and most shops still use their Italian names. If you're a tourist, then Asmara is the most aesthetically pleasing place to visit. And if you're a fan of beaches, then the entire coast of the Red Sea has several beaches where you can't just sit back and relax, but also go for multiple water sports. The Asmara region itself has a rich history of struggle and freedom fighting as back in the day, 4 different clans were living, and they used to constantly get attacked. So, they decided to unite against their enemy, and that's why Asmara means they made them unite. In addition, it is believed that Eritrea was actually a part of the ancient Aksum kingdom back in 100 AD. It was also the center of trade between the Indian and Roman empires. In fact, that's also the place where the Ark of the Covenant is reportedly buried. Not only this, but this country's rich history keeps improving because it is also home to one of the oldest port cities in the world. This city was called Adulis, and it was in Eritrea. This city was so famous that even Roman merchants used to come here and use the route around the 2nd and 3rd centuries. In fact, Adulis was a rather modern and metropolitan city. You would be surprised to know that the current city of Zula in Eritrea is located exactly where Adulis was. There were a lot of ruins of the ancient city of Adulis in Zula, and then it was finally discovered that there was a port city thousands of years back in the same place. What are your thoughts about the rich history and culture of Eritrea? And did you know that one such country exists in Africa? Tell us in the comments section. Also, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, adios from our side.